Hey everyone, this is Amy and Amy again, and we're here to talk about student conferences. Hi everybody. All right, so we're going to start with the ITSE standards that this aligns to. It aligns with the first, third, and sixth ITSE standard. The first one is empowered learners. The second one is a knowledge constructor, and the sixth one is creative communicator. And we just want to point out to you guys that it's super easy to incorporate these into your everyday teaching, and you probably already are and don't even know it. All right, so the perks of student conferences. This is a great way to get to know your kids. It provides one-on-one feedback, and it can be used for differentiation. And I'm going to go ahead and put out there that I started this as a way to make sure that I was touching base with each of our tech team members every single week, because I was starting to feel like I didn't have the opportunity to hang out with them and see what they had going on for the tech team, since I teach them concurrently with my history classes.
And I can use this with my student activity group, student council, as well as my dual credit classes if I feel like I need more one-on-one time with each student. So for my calculus class, I could have them tell me what they need to know or what they feel that they don't understand quite yet through this conference.
And we're going to be talking about techie ways to do this with the kids, but it doesn't even have to be that complicated. My history students keep a dialogue journal with me that they write in once a week. And so we go super low tech with that. So it's really whatever works best for you, because it's going to be good teaching practices either way. All right, so the digital tools we use to create our format of this is Google Forms, Google Slides, and the Google Form add-on DocAppender. All right, so here's some great steps to do this. All right, so the first thing you want to do is create a template. This is the template that we chose to use. I based it off of something I found online and made it ours. Mr. McLean and I are co-sponsors for the student tech team. And so we wanted the kids to answer these questions as if we were the ones answering it and really think outside the box.
And we do something similar with student council. We call it their time to talk and vent, to touch base with each other and see where they're doing leadership yays and leadership nays type things. So you can do this for something other than technology teams.
And this was simply created using Google Slides. I used our Bitmojis and text boxes, as well as the build a table function. And you will see all of the arrows in there that has some words in it. That's all the things that are required for DocAppenders to work correctly, which we did last. All right, so the second step is to collect information from your kids. We simply did this in a Google form. And the one thing I will tell you is you can have DocAppender set to automatically email out a filled-in template as long as you're collecting email addresses. So make sure you update your settings for the form.
And I've used the DocAppender, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always stumble over that one. I've used it with student council. We have state forms that we do. So we use our Google form to explain what each event is and flush it out the way it needs to for each state form. And then it automatically populates into the approved by the state of Texas format that we turn in every year.
And there's literally endless possibilities for doing this. You could set your lesson plans to auto-fill into a template of your choosing using Google Forms. You could use it for tutorial logs, bathroom passes. The possibilities are absolutely endless for using Google Forms with DocAppender. All right, so the next thing is making it easy. You can see a screenshot of the email that comes across that I get notified saying that the PDF has been created of our template. And you can change the template form. So Mr. McLean and I get a PDF that's not editable based on this, but the kids are actually sent the original Google slide so that they can change it and take notes on it and update it before they meet with us. Got anything you want to add?
Not that one.
All right, so this is the DocuPender form. This is one that one of my children has actually filled out. So you can see that the one type font is mine, whereas the second one is going to be what that student put into the Google form. So it automatically put in the day of the week, his name, which I have covered, and then all of his answers to the questions, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. All right, so some tips and tricks we have for you. The first one I'm going to say is really think about what your information you want, because you don't want this to be overwhelming for your kids and have them not want to do it. You want it to be useful for them to get the information you want.
And always know what you're trying to get in the end whenever you're using the DocuPender to make it go from the Google form information into some type of preset document. You want to make sure that everything is in the correct layout, the correct format. You don't want to get any like names where it's asking for the dates and stuff like that. You need to make sure it's all uniform. So you have to know what your format looks like, make sure you follow it all along.
And think about it from the kids' perspective. Since this is something that I'm sharing with the students, I actually had my kids look at it before I finished it off and say, is this easy for you to read? Does this make sense? Is it streamlined? Because again, if you don't want them to be confused, you want it to look okay. It's great documentation for the kids to keep up of saying, you know, I was struggling and this fixed it, or I was really consistent all the way through. It's something great for them to go back and look at.
And it's also helping them for when they have conferences with their bosses in the future. So they don't just go in and wonder, well, what's going to happen here? What am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to treat this? They have an idea of what people in charge of them are going to be asking. Even if it's an education base now, later it won't be. And they have a way to fall back on that training.
And I think this is part of the reason it came about for the both of us is just we would call the kids aside and they were not able to quickly think on the spot. And so the more we've done this, the easier it is for them to be able to think on the spot with us. So we've gotten to the point where we don't necessarily have to use the form anymore, except for a few particular cases of children. But it started out where everybody was using it, and then they were able to think about those things on the spot.
And it also makes the kids not feel like it's an I gotcha. They can prepare for it. They can think through the questions. So it's not we're pointing fingers at you if you can't answer immediately.
And the other thing I'll say is if you're going to send it out via Google Classrooms, don't send it out early. I went on ahead and posted due dates for a whole month, and I had a child who would want to fill it out every Monday. And I would look at her and say, how can you tell me what your attendance is for the week and your work ethic is for the week if it's only Monday? So kind of be aware of what your children are doing and how you expect them to behave with it. All right, so now we're going to look at questions and concerns. If you have any, you can get to us on the chat. Okay, so I've given you guys some more help. Literally, you can type in student conferences and get thousands upon thousands of resources. However, I found a few to give you just of the power of using them in your classroom, steps and tips, more tips and tricks, as well as some documents from Houston ISD to kind of get yourself going. And of course, we're your I3s for Lakeview Centennial, so you're welcome to reach out to either one of the Amy's or our digital team of students to ask any questions or get help setting this up.
Yes, we're always willing to help. Just email us or find us on Twitter and let us know what you need. If we need to come out to you, we can come out to you. Just communicate.
Amy will be posting the CPE link in our YouTube chat window. So if you have joined us today, please make sure you filled out the CPE link so the digital leadership team can get you your credits for hanging out with us today. All right, so the CPE link is now posted. Just a final reminder for you guys to go ahead and fill that out and to get in touch with either of the Amy's or Digital Militia should you need any help getting this up, or with our previous webinar about student collaborative study groups.
And please, if you're using this, let us know about it. So tag us as you use it and do pictures on Twitter. We want to see that you're using what we're showing you and it's helpful. Or ask questions.
That's all we have for you guys after a very long day of the SAT. I hope you have a great spring break.
Yes, have a happy spring break.